So don't be afraid to be teachable or taught sometimes right up front, in front of all of the family and friends. Learning correct procedures. An active listener. Now, probably the most single thing as a presiding officer or as chairman of a meeting you need to do is actively listen continuously. Most cases, the headaches or the problems you get into comes because you didn't really listen to what happened at first. So, active listening. What the member says, what the person says. Learn to read that group. Learn to see that, hey, she's looking at me like she doesn't like it, so we probably need to make some changes. As a chairperson up front, when you're in charge, you've got to read the group. I find it convenient to shorten the work distance. By work distance, take the room that we were in downstairs. I could not do this training session from the stage. That's too far away from that group. There'll be other meetings going on all over the place. And so as a chair, you've got to read that, you've got to see that chairperson. You got to, hey, I got to get down with the crowd. Of course, that came from classroom. You don't turn your back on kids.
That's right.
But you learn to read.
Amen.
You learn to read the group. You don't get too far away from them. And so you do that as an active listener, and you hear what is said. Because what is said in most cases will help you determine the course of action that you need to take as you continue. Okay. Presiding officers, calmness. You can't break up a fight if you're fighting. Simply put, you can't stop a fight if you're fighting, if you're in the fight. So keeping the peace means you've got to keep the calm. You've got to maintain the calmness. And I'm talking about that time now that you're up front. You're in charge. And they've come to get you, shall we say. And they're going to get you if you let them. But throughout all of that getting, maintain calmness. You've got to maintain calmness. You've got to maintain your composure. As a chairman, you've got to maintain the composure. You've got to stay calm. Throughout the meeting, it's a hot time. And through that hot time, you've got to stand and be the chairman.
Yes, sir.
And remain calm. You see, some presidents get that, what I call photographic face, and no matter what comes down, they maintain that photographic face. They continue to carry on looking like, geez, this guy is in another world, has no idea what's going on, but they look like, they're calm, and they're not letting this upset them, even though we're going to impeach him and take him right out of this room. He is still looking, so you maintain that to be in control.
Amen. Amen.
Calmness.
Yes, sir.
Humility. He who must be leader, or is that the way it goes? Must be humble and servant of all. You may have thought, as president, you were now the big cheese. But you'll find that you are, quote, the servant of each one, each person in the meeting. You are it. And so, do not take offense and be humble and servant of all. You're the servant of everyone. Now that lesson was taught to me by a little old lady who was a member of our church many years ago. When And I thought, really, we shouldn't be treating her this way. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't allow this. And she said, as humble as I am, and as much as little as I am, I want to do that too. I want to do all that I can. And it says, you've got to be concerned with the littlest member, quote, little member of the group, as the biggest member of the group. Or you're all of the people, humility. And by all means, as mentioned earlier, don't take offense when you're corrected. When they tell you, yes. Firmness, and the last one in this, stay the course. I heard Bishop Adams say, I must follow the discipline. And that's true. As the bishop, as the presiding officer, as the chairman, as the leader, you got to follow the rules. Now everybody else breaks them, yes. But you, Mr. Chairman, Madam President, Mr. Presiding Officer, you must follow the rules. Firmness in staying the course. And you got to follow the rules. You can't break the rules. You would think the president actually went out and set off that explosion in the Gulf nowadays. Because you're blamed for everything.
Right.
And yet, you must follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. Can't get past that. Comments, much of this first part is just reminding us of who we are and what we need to exhibit as presiding officers. When you're a chairman, and you see, you can't know when you're going to be chairman, so it's good to get this the whole time. Okay? Comments or questions as we go on that first. This next slide is one. You'll get it right in a minute.
Flip it.
Flip it over. Flip it.
I do better from the left side.
Upside down.
I do better from the right side. Here we are. That's, there we are. We're going to have to move this up as we go.
That's not the one.
You mean you've seen these? These of an A+ meeting. Now let's talk about the meeting. Because they come together. I made the slides, I think they're out of order. That's what you're telling me?